Seconds. This broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS The Voice of Stockton or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Connie O'Day, actually Lion Connie O'Day, and welcome to Lions We Serve Live here coming from KXVS in Stockton, California. And I'm so glad that you're with us today. We have some wonderful guests here today for a great event that's happening here in the Stockton area in a couple of months. And so I'm going to talk about our different projects that the Lions are doing later in the show, because today I would really like you to meet these wonderful people. And these people are, as you can see, very handsome men, and they are from the Military Appreciation Stockton Heat Hockey Night program. And I would like to introduce to you, first of all, we have Commander Vince, am I saying it right? Vince Kilmartin,
yes, thank you.
Retired from the Navy and the United States Coast Guard.
Yes.
And next to him, and next to me, I have Sergeant Michael Emerson from the Marine Corps.
Hoorah.
And next, what did you say?
I said hoorah.
Hoorah, right, that's right. I didn't hear it all. That is Marine. That is a Marine. And then next to me, I have Mark Hicks. And Mark Hicks is from the Stockton Heat hockey team, and he is the ticket manager for the Heat. And also next to him is Alex Romero. Alex is also from the Hockey Heat, and he's the group sales. Yes. Now, to start out with this program that they have come to talk about today is called the Military Appreciation Stockton Heat Hockey Game. And this is going to be in December, actually on my son's birthday, December 8th. And it'll be at 6 p.m. here in Stockton at our hockey arena. And I am going to first start out with talking with Alex. And Alex is the Heat group sales for tickets. I'm going to have him talk about the program or the event. And then I will have Mark talk about the event and the sales of the tickets also. Yep. So
we're a team. We work together very, very closely.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Then who wants to start out?
So I'll start.
Okay.
I'll give some background on the event and how we're kind of all involved. So the Heat have always done a military appreciation night. It's a great opportunity to give back to the military community, recognize them. There are some really cool elements of the event that we'll go into later on. Mm-hmm. But part of the reason we're here, and a large part of the reason we're here, is Michael and Vince, who are huge in our community with military, both active, reserve, and veterans. So kind of how we all kind of got here is first Michael gave me a call. You would say maybe last year around this time.
A little bit higher. Okay.
So about last year this time, Michael gave me a call. Oh, we got mic problems here.
Sorry about that.
Michael gave me a call. Didn't know who Michael was. Had never met Michael. Never heard from Michael. But you just moved in the area, I think. And Michael essentially said, "Yeah, I've worked in the Bay Area before, but essentially I'm a veteran. I want to make veterans' lives better," and thought that the Stockton Heat hockey team could be used as a vehicle to do that. So
Excellent.
We worked together last year, donating tickets primarily through Michael to military members and their families, and then planning for the 2018-19 season, which is getting started on October 6th. Started talking about our Military Appreciation Night. and how we can work better with local community members, local organizations, local veterans, and really have an impact. And Michael and Vince have really done incredible things with getting us connected, going to meetings, meeting people who have input and say, hey, here's really the important stuff that you have to do on a military night. And that's just, like I said, exciting for us that we're able to get more plugged in. And Alec, who actually just joined the Stockton Heat not too long ago, is going to be the guy specializing in reaching out to military groups.
Excellent.
And I actually had the opportunity to just meet Vince and Mike right here, and very nice gentlemen, and they're going to help us out, get really well connected in the community. I'm actually from the Sacramento area. I just graduated from Sac State, so it's great to have. Thank you. It's great to have these two gentlemen out here as my first meeting with the organization, get really well connected in the area, and very happy Mark decided to bring me on board. I'm happy to be a part of the organization, and looking to do a great job and really bring groups out as a group sales executive and make sure it's a memorable experience for everybody.
So what exactly is going to be taking place the night of this military appreciation as far as the hockey team?
So I mentioned one thing that Michael and Vince have helped out a lot with is it's not just another Stockton Heat hockey game. It's Military Appreciation Night, and they'll go into that a little bit more in detail.
Great, okay.
But as part of Military Appreciation Night, we work with a lot of military organizations, one of them being United Veterans Council of San Joaquin County.
Right.
So there's an element where we donate a lot of tickets, but a very important part of it is awareness and raising money. So Michael and Vince have helped connect us with a lot of different organizations, and through these organizations and with these organizations, we're able to offer tickets at a discounted price with a portion of each ticket going back to that organization. So
now, when you say raising money, is that for military organizations? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and so Michael and Vince, because they're the guys that people want to hear from, is
right.
what are you doing for military groups? Why is this not just another Stockton Heat hockey game?
Okay.
But yes, they'll have an opportunity to raise money. They're going to be out at the game. Hopefully, we're going to be able to help them provide a platform to promote their organization, whether it's recruiting new military members, raising awareness about upcoming community events. One thing that's really great that I've been able to learn about in this process is some of the amazing stuff that military organizations are able to do for Veterans Day.
Right.
But part of this is Veterans Day is a huge day, but we should be able to appreciate and recognize veterans 12 months out of the year.
Were you here last year when they had the Vietnam moving wall?
Yes, I've seen the Vietnam moving wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. And so not only with that, there's a lot of recognition, and we're trying to raise money. Like I said, Michael and Vince have done wonders for us, and we're allowing us to work with them. But there's a special jersey for the night that's military themed, and then probably something that is really cool that fans appreciate that we've never done before.
Let's see if I can get this. Go ahead, keep talking.
Something that we've never done before is we're doing a military hat giveaway, a camouflage hat to everybody that comes to the game, not just the first 500 people, not just the first 1,000 people, but everybody who comes through the gate will get a hat, and we're really, really excited about it.
Oh. So everybody's going to get a hat.
Everybody that buys a ticket or gets a ticket and comes to the game.
Well, there's a funny story that he says, we better hope to get a lot of people there. We're going to have a lot of extra hats.
Yeah, we don't, because we got to get the hats ahead of time.
It's like 8,000 hats.
The guy on our staff that's in charge of all that, he does a lot, but one thing that is amazing that he does is he helps with getting the jerseys, getting the hats, and we order 8,000 hats to give to everybody come in. Hopefully we'll have 8,000 people there.
If you don't get rid of all of them, we just have to have another military event. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
And like I said, Michael and Vince and a lot of the military organizations in the community have been brought a lot of energy, I guess, to our organization, and really came to us and said, "Here's how you can have an impact." And so this is, as I've told Michael and Vince, and we just talked about in our meeting earlier today. This is hopefully the first year of a successful partnership and something that's going to grow year over year.
Oh, good. That's excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. So with the ticket sales now, your position, can you explain what your position actually is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
you can explain what yours is too.
I'm the director of ticket sales, so I oversee our whole ticket sales team, but it expands a lot further than just ticket sales. There's a lot of things in the community and on game days that we get involved in. And so I oversee our staff, but I work closely with a lot of organizations, and that's kind of where Alec comes in, is we want to make sure that we're partnering with the right people in the community and providing an ample amount of time to support them and recognize them. So Alec just came on board, and he's going to be specializing in working with the military groups. And we really wouldn't be able to do this, like I said, without Michael and Vince and people like them in the community that are introducing us to the right groups and helping open up doors to where we can use our platform and our venue in Stockton Arena to help a lot of these groups.
Well, one of the things I'd like to ask you is, would you be able to come to Lions clubs and give a presentation about this particular event?
Yeah, easily.
So we can get, so the other Lions clubs can get the information. Now, I belong to the Stockton San Joaquin Lions, but we have 6 more clubs in our area, in our immediate area. So it would be very nice if you could come and give a talk at their meetings and talk about this within the next couple of months to get more support from the Lions.
Yeah.
That would be excellent.
And we've done that before.
Yeah.
And Lions clubs are great in the community.
And Connie, don't want me jumping in here. The other thing too is that what we're hoping is that the Lions Club and other organizations that aren't necessarily a military organization will support this event.
Right.
But what's great about this is that the way that the Heat is trying to put this together is they're also building relationships with groups like the Lions, and maybe in the future the Lions could actually talk to the Heat and possibly do a game in which the Lions would be able to generate donations, and it would be specifically for the Lions. So what happens is we're going to have 20, maybe even 30 different organizations that are going to make money during this military appreciation game, which are veteran related, but all the other organizations that are supporting it will then have a connection to Mark and to Alec and be able to maybe have a game for them. So I'm hoping that the Lions will work with Mark and work with Alec and actually have a game in which they can generate donations for their organization.
Oh, that's excellent. Because, well, as my show is called Lions We Serve Live, well, our international motto is We Serve. Now, we are in 209 countries. We're even in countries where the UN can't even get into. And we have over 48,000 over 48,000 clubs worldwide, and millions of people. So we are a very, very large organization. And in fact, we just, this last year has been our 100th year, our centennial year.
Wow.
And Stockton Host, who's been working with you,
Yes.
Stockton Host Lions.
Shout out to Roy Morales.
Oh, yes.
You see him everywhere. And then Ron Cutler, if you're listening.
Oh, yes. They're getting ready for their 100th year.
Yeah,
being
no,
here in Stockton.
It's an incredible community here.
Now
it really
my
is.
club, in October, we're celebrating 60 years.
Wow.
Yep. But I think Stockton Host is one of 2 of the oldest Lions clubs west of the Mississippi.
Wow.
Here in the United States right
impressive.
now. Yes, very impressive. And used to be back in the days, and I've been in Stockton since 1945, but when the Lions were meeting downtown, they met at the Stockton Hotel. I mean, everybody who was anybody of men, businessmen, doctors, whatever, belonged to Lions. And then we began to get more organizations, which is wonderful, more service organizations.
Rotary and Elks.
Oh,
and
yes.
all those
And we
guys.
work with all of them. We all work together on many projects, which is good, which is very good. So now, with this event, you said when I was talking to you, or was talking to you about the things that are going to be going on at the event.
Yep.
Okay. What type of things besides giving out the hats are going to be going on?
So people like free stuff. So that's the cool part, is we have the hats, you have discounted tickets, but large part of it is partnering with the military organizations. So there will be tables on the concourse, and an opportunity, and Michael can speak to it in detail. We've already had, we're out of space. We've had 15 military organizations that have stepped up and said, we want to partner with you on this event. We want to help promote it, and we want to be there to help promote and recognize veterans.
Now, the question I have, I don't know if you can answer it better, but I would like to know about the auctioning off of the Heat's shirts that they're going to be wearing that night.
Yep. So it's
Okay.
actually really cool. It's a cool opportunity for our players. They get to wear a different jersey that's part of an important cause, recognizing veterans. But then they auction the jerseys off after the game. So there's a mix of live
I don't know if
auction,
it's gonna even
silent
show.
auction. If you can see it on the flyer, you'll see Michael out in the community passing out these flyers,
Let's see. Maybe
so
we
you
can
can
get it.
support local veteran organizations
wait a minute.
or military organizations and purchase tickets. But
I'll see
the
if we can get
proceeds
this
of the
one on me.
jersey will go to a beneficiary. We're still in the process of identifying a beneficiary.
There's the T-shirt.
A jersey.
Jersey, excuse me,
They
it's
actually
a
wear-
jersey.
It's the jersey they're actually wearing during the game.
During the game,
And so
right.
after the game, whoever wins, they'll literally pull it off them and give
Yep.
it to the winner.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
So they'll be able to have a game-worn jersey, and this one specifically is for military appreciation. Only worn on one
One
game.
time.
One time, one game.
Now, did you say you're going to auction these off?
Silent
Yes.
Or
auction.
silent auction?
Silent
it's
auction
going to be
and live
silent
auction. Silent auction and live auction. There'll be a mix.
Oh, okay. Because
Yep.
I was wondering, how were you going to do an auction with hundreds of people there in the arena?
No, yeah, we'll do it after. It's really
There'll be
cool.
a table.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's really, really cool because it's an opportunity, another platform for us to raise money for an important cause. And like I said, you have Veterans Day. There's a lot of things going on in the community, but with the opportunity to partner with Michael and Vince and the doors they've opened up to work with a lot of different military organizations, we think this is going to be the best military appreciation night ever and something that we can hopefully grow on year over year.
Oh, it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Ever since I've heard about this, and Michael, I met you at the Women's Auxiliary for the
Yeah.
American Legion.
Yeah, we
I'm a
belong to the
member.
same post,
Yes, yes.
Carl Ross, post 16.
Right. Give a shout out.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I was really impressed, and I was, oh my gosh, I got to get you on the show here to tell everybody in the community about this. This is absolutely great. And I know you guys have another commitment.
We do.
To go to.
We're out on the street telling everybody. You got Military Appreciation Night, but our season's coming up quick. Home opener's October 6th. Like I said, I once again want to thank Michael and Vince personally on the show, because what we do wouldn't be possible without guys like this in the community that are willing to step up. And we want to thank you for allowing
you're
us
so
to come on your
welcome.
show.
Thank you.
I do want to have you come back because December's several months away.
Yes.
I'd like to have you come back in the early part of November, possibly, and talk about this again so we can. And I will be bringing this up on all the shows.
Thank you.
Every week.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. So yes, we're off to go tell everybody down the street about what's coming up.
Wonderful.
But thank you for having
Well,
us. Thank you
thank
guys.
you. And now I will
Alrighty.
turn the show over to my other wonderful gentleman here. So
Thanks.
thank you.
Take
Thank
it
you
easy,
very
guys.
much.
Thank you.
And good luck to you.
Take it easy.
All right, nice to meet you.
Okay. All right. Now
Yeah,
we
Vince and I actually have a lot of details that we can give you more about
Uh-huh.
the whole thing. So you ask us what you want, and because what it is with Mark is handling every game, and Vince and I are helping with just the one game. So we're a lot more knowledgeable about this specific game. Plus, we're the ones that are putting together a lot of the events that is going to be happening during the game too.
Okay, now that's what I want to know. All right. Now, how did you get involved? And why are you involved? Is a couple of questions I have. And then I want to find out about the organizations that are going to be setting up tables there that will be, I don't know what they're going to be doing. If it's like me at different events, I give information out all the time. So why don't we start with Vince? How did you get involved and why?
Sure. Thanks for asking. Actually, Michael was the big impetus of me being involved. He knew that I was working with veteran organizations in Stockton and San Joaquin County, and talked to me about it. My background, as you said, I did 15 years in the Navy and 20 in the Coast Guard, and I've been working after the
Excellent.
military. I went to work for school districts, and Stockton and San Joaquin especially, we tried to get veterans who were interested in becoming school teachers, both men and women, to get into internship programs at Stockton and San Joaquin County. And fortunately, they were really so supportive, and I just kept wanting to work with veteran organizations that Michael was interested in, and just there are so many people in the community that are so pro-veterans that I just want to continue giving back to the community.
Well, how long have you been in Stockton?
My wife and I settled here 5 years ago after I came from as the Associate Superintendent of Schools in West Contra Costa, and I started working, doing volunteer work for different veteran organizations. There's some people that I'll give shout-outs to, if that's okay.
You certainly can.
Bob Blauer of Century 21, a Navy Lieutenant Commander that was in Da Nang with me at the same time in 67, 68. Fred Weibel from Weibel Winery,
Right.
Another veteran, and then Jim Dyke, a Navy JAG who works in town here for Beardsley, the Beardsley organization. So they've been really helpful in us just reaching out. We've done a lot of work with veterans who didn't understand that Agent Orange had contributed to some of their diseases.
Exactly.
And Bob and I work with the Veterans Office here in town. So we're just pro-veteran, doing everything we can for them.
Well, I would like to share just a quick story with you. My family's been here since 1945 in Stockton, and my father and grandfather and 2 uncles and my mother went to work at the naval base here in Stockton. And this was in 1945, and there were 5,000 servicemen out there and civilians, 2 commands, and it was the Pacific West Fleet Communication Center. And I grew up with that naval base here. And it's so sad to see it leave, but it's also exciting for me to see that we still have a lot of recognition for our veterans. Because I don't know what was going on in those days, but I know a few things happened in town with the young men, the young sailors, and they couldn't wear their uniforms anymore in town. And back in those days of the early 50s and so forth. But it was this town was very proud to have the Navy there. And a lot of people worked there. But it's gone now. Most of the base area is part of the Port of Stockton now. But we did have a large amount of military here for many, many years. I think my father, he retired in 75. And I still have him. He's a World War II veteran, 97, from the Army. Yeah. So we got a lot of history here, and I'm glad to see that we have organizations like the American Legion and VFW and so forth that are all coming together and what you're doing. And so I just had to share that idea with you because I didn't know how long you'd been here, but we have had a huge history back when with the military. But since the base closed, it's just been the VFW and the American Legion and a few organizations that have kept things going. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Closest base that I was working with is Travis Air Force Base, and
Right.
most of the other bases, are just no longer in existence. So those of us that are veterans just want to keep our eyes going and support all the organizations that are contributing, like United Way and American Legions and all those great organizations.
Exactly.
Many of them that Michael will probably tell you about.
Well, it's kind of sad when you see the time period from what's happened after Vietnam War and Korean War and World War II, and how people start growing up, new generations, and they forget. Right. They forget why they have the freedom that they have.
Exactly.
Exactly. And that's why I belong to the American Legion Women's Auxiliary, and I've always been supportive of the military. So now, how did you get involved with this wonderful event?
Well, a little background on me first. I was in the Marine Corps, in the infantry. I was in from 1982 to 1992. So I actually, there was that Vietnam issue in the 70s. A lot of people were down on the military. And then in the 80s, things started to pick up with Ronald Reagan, and people were respecting the military more. So my hat's off to men like Vince, and I welcome you home from Vietnam, because I don't think you guys were treated the way you should have been. But I think now a lot of us younger veterans are trying to make up for it. So thank you for your service, and we honor you. And that's also one of the reasons I wanted Vince to help.
Didn't you tell me you were in Desert Storm, though?
Yes, ma'am. So what had happened was that, you know, I had met Vince and knew of him. And so when I was doing this project, I said, you know, I'd like to get a right-hand man. Although, you know, he's a distinguished guy on his own, he actually was willing to be my right-hand guy on this project. And, you know, he's done so many of his other projects, and I'm learning from him also. So that's why I wanted to get him involved, because this is a pretty big project on what we've taken on. And we wanted to make sure, and we will do it for free. We're not being paid in any way, so we do it as a donation. I'm retired, he's retired. So anyway, back to my Marine Corps time frame. I was from 82 to 92, Desert Storm, and I got out in 92. I was a disabled veteran. I'm 70% service-connected disabled vet, and I belong to the VFW, the American Legion, the Marine Corps League, AMVETS, the DAV, and also the Patriot Guard Riders. So I'm connected to a lot of different veterans groups. Some of them I'm more active with than others. But it's just, you know, this community, believe it or not, is there is about 35,000 veterans here in San Joaquin County. So there's quite a lot of veterans where I think we're being underserved by the VA. You guys are supposed to bring that hospital here 10 years ago. Come on, VA. But to me...
We won't mention names about that one.
Yeah. Well, it's our politicians that need to step up and get it done. So, but what happened was that, you know, I moved here after I retired. I'm from the Bay Area. And when I was in the Bay Area, I had relationships with the 49ers, with the Raiders, with the Sharks, with the A's and the Giants. And I actually had been on their field with you know, carrying the flag, gotten things going, etc. And I still have those relationships. But when I moved here, I said, you know, I'd like to build a relationship with like the Ports, which I have, with the you know, the Heat, and even now with the Stockton Kings that are moving in. I'm starting a relationship with them, because what I did back on the East Bay is I got them to donate tickets for veterans. Right. And then also sometimes we would have games in which they would be able to sell the tickets, and a portion of that would go towards the veterans group. So what happened is when I contacted Mark at the Heat, I said, hey, do you have any free tickets for veterans? And he said, sure, we do. And so almost every game, they gave me a few tickets. I would get a shout out to all the different veterans organizations and individuals that I knew were veterans and say, would you like tickets? And it was first come, first serve. And so we would give out tickets almost every game. And then when Military Appreciation, they had one earlier this year, because it was like, I think in January. It was last season, but it was this year. And it didn't go very well because they didn't have a lot of connections in the community. So when I was talking to Mark, I said, hey, Mark, I do have connections in the community on veterans. I'm a veteran myself. If you want, I'll work with you. So I volunteered to help them. And they asked me, we had multiple meetings and said, hey, what's the best way to get people involved? How can we help veterans? So first of all, the tickets that they're purchasing are actually cheaper. They're $3 to $5 cheaper than you can buy at the box office.
And that's for the veterans themselves.
For Military Appreciation Game, which is on Saturday, December the 8th at 6 p.m., what's going to happen is that the people will purchase tickets. But like I said, the tickets themselves, there's a range depending on how close you are to the rink and all that kind of stuff. But each ticket is between $3 to $5 cheaper than you would buy it normally.
Oh, for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah, because I was looking at the prices of the tickets that's on the brochure, and I was amazed at they run from $12 to $22.
Right. So they're already $5, $3 cheaper to begin with. Then, depending upon what you purchase, the higher end, there's 3 higher end levels. $6 of each of those tickets will go to the organization of your choice. And then the last one is $3. That's for the lowest, the $12 ones.
Yes.
In addition to that, if you buy a ticket at the higher end, the $22, you get a free Stockton Heat hat, sorry. And that's just something that you get just for purchasing the ticket.
But everybody gets a free hat who comes to the game.
But in addition to that, there's going to be a camouflage hat that matches the jerseys with the Stockton Heat logo on the front, and everybody will get one. So you don't have to worry about getting in line for an hour or 2 hours to be able to get something. Everybody that goes will get a hat, which is pretty cool, and it's free.
That is cool.
Then what happens is, like I said, is that between $6 and $3 will be going back towards each organization. So what I've done in the past is that I learned that it was kind of a pain in the neck to get the tickets, to go to collect the money, get the money, keep track of the money, give them the tickets, etc. So what we set it up is that people can just go online. They literally go online. There's a special link on the Heat's website. They go online. There's a drop down of all the different organizations, which include the American Legion, the VFW, the Marine Corps League, Blue Star Moms. I mean, all kinds of warrior this and all kinds of groups. And what happens is they select the organization they want to support. Then they purchase their tickets. They do it online. The tickets are sent to them by email.
They're using a credit card.
Credit card, right. So that way there's no money that has to be collected by the organization. They don't have to worry about passing out tickets. It's all done online, and it gets sent to them by email, or I think they can get them at the box office, whatever they want to do. So it's a lot simpler and easier. And then what happens is that, like I said, for each ticket, so let's say the American Legion, since we're both Legionnaires, right? So the American Legion with their, we actually have 3 different American Legion groups, Manteca, 2 in Stockton, just like we have groups from Tracy, all kinds, it's not just...
We have 2 here in Stockton?
Yeah, there's the Ed Stewart Post
yes,
on
Stewart,
West
right.
Lane, and then there's ours off a Country Club.
Right.
Carl Ross Post. Carl Ross, hoorah. So anyway, what happens is that the following week on the 15th, so the 8th is the game on Saturday, the following Saturday is the 15th, which is the next game. We're going to invite 2 individuals from each of the organizations, and there'll be a check presentation ceremony at that time during the game for whatever they do. So think of it this way. So if the Legion, say, sells 100 tickets at $6 for each, that's a $600 check. You know, and in addition to that, these organizations also, if they sell, like, case in point, if they sell 300 tickets, they actually will get a free suite during an upcoming game. So they can have people from the Post or whatever that can come out there and see a game in a suite.
Now,
so
is that for the military or for the organization?
Any organization that sells 300 tickets will be able to get a free suite. So the whole, or more, preferably more. So there's 8,000 tickets, and they've never had a military appreciation game where they've sold out completely. So that's the dream. The dream is to sell it out completely. Not only will this help organizations, local organizations, okay, it's also going to be a way for people to honor and remember veterans. And it's open to families, organizations. We've got, like he had mentioned, the United Way, Chamber of Commerce, Lincoln Center. Now, they're not going to receive any of the funding because funding only goes towards military groups.
Right.
But they're supporting us in helping to sell the tickets or purchasing tickets themselves. So it's just an opportunity to garner funding to help all these local veterans groups. And again, they're only local. We're nothing national. It's so every ticket
what
purchased.
What about our military VFWs or other military groups that are like in Tracy or down in Modesto or up toward Yosemite?
We do. We actually
or up in the Motherlode country, Lodi.
We actually have people that are coming from Modesto, from Manteca, from Tracy. We're open to preferably more local organizations, and they have to be a veteran organization to get funding.
Right.
But any organization that wants to support us is fine.
Well, if say that people in Tracy would like to support their VFW in Tracy.
Yeah, all the VFW in Tracy has to do is contact me. And what we do is we actually will take the flyer, and we actually customize the flyer so that way when people go online, they can actually link to their Tracy post. And that way they make sure they get the benefit. Because the thing is that if you guys out there in Radio Land, if you go to the website and you don't select any particular thing, your group might not get the funding. Right. So there's a drop down, and you will pick your group. Then you buy your tickets, and to make sure that the donation goes specifically to your group.
And every one of those groups is a veteran group of one sort.
Right.
Now, here with the Lions Club, okay, say the Lions Club buys tickets, members of the Lions Club, and they say they want, some say they want it to Carl Ross Post here, or the VFW downtown,
Right.
or some of the Lions in Tracy would like to go to the VFW in Tracy,
Right.
the Women's Auxiliary in Tracy, or
Right.
whatever. Can that be done, or will you have
Yeah,
those?
like I said,
are
all-
you putting all the different names on this list, or just
Yeah, all the
Stockton groups?
we don't do it without permission. So Vince and I have actually gone to several of these and done a presentation. Some of them I just talked to them on the phone, and they said, "Sure, we'd love to do it," like Rivers of Recovery and some of these other groups. So they jump on it. But we've gone to like both VFW, American Legion posts. We went to the VFW post, right here in downtown, Post 52. We've been to a lot of other groups. And once they've given us their permission, we add them. And then we give them the customized flyer that they can pass out or post or email. And that's kind of how we're doing it. But hey, anybody out there that's a
What-
veterans organization
what
that's
about
local that wants
other,
to join.
other cities, like
Yeah.
I said, Tracy.
Yeah.
And Modesto. I know Modesto on Memorial Day, they have a huge,
Right.
huge parade and activities there.
Right.
So they really support the military there. And all of our tri-county cities all have different branches of VFWs and
Right.
are they able to be
Yes.
on this list? Are they on the list?
No,
already?
we've invited almost everybody that we can think of, including all those. But some of them just have not reached out to us and said we want to do it. Now, of course, we still have 2 months, 3 months to do this. They can
Right.
get on board if they want to, but you know, it's any veterans organization that's local can join it. We'll add them on there.
That's what I need to know. How far out is local?
I'd say within San Joaquin.
San Joaquin County.
Yeah.
San
Yeah.
Joaquin County.
And anybody listening on the radio that's with a veteran group within San Joaquin
Because
County
we have San
just,
Andreas and we have
just needs to notify Michael.
Amador counties that are close by, that people come to the games here, and
Right.
and people in Tracy, they come to the games here. A lot of port supporters that they come here all the time, and a lot well, like with Lions, because I'd like to really talk about this with our Lions clubs, and we are in Amador County and Stanislaus County and up Yosemite and also San Joaquin County. So, and I know that they have veteran groups in each one of those areas. So how would they get, if they wanted to support that veteran group, how would that happen?
Like I said, all they have to do is get like the commander of that particular post or chapter, depending on what it is, to contact me directly through the website. I have my website is mlemerson, EMERSON @AOL.com. Just contact me, and we'll just confirm that who they are, and we'll put them on the very next day. They'll be on the website, and then I'll put together a customized flyer that they can use, because like I said, if you use a generic flyer, the problem is that when they go online, they might not remember who they're supposed to be supporting.
Right.
And that there's, like right now, there's already 3 American Legion groups on there. So, American Legion, which one? And they'll pick it, and of course, it'll still go to a veterans group. It just might not be the one that they originally thought they
In
were
their
supporting.
city.
Right.
Does it say what city?
Yeah. It actually
online?
says
Okay.
comma Stockton, comma Manteca,
Okay.
comma. And so that is what we're trying to do. But as long as they're a veterans group, and as long as they're fairly local, and they're planning on coming, fine, we'll put them on there. I mean, we are very inclusive. We want every veterans group that wants to be part of this to be part of it.
Excellent.
And we want all other organizations, the Elks, the Moose, the Rotary, the Lions, that want to support it. They won't be getting any of the donations, but they will be able to support.
Buying the tickets.
Right. Plus, a lot of those members are also members of the VFW or the Legion. So they
Right.
can say, hey, since we have a lot of guys in our Lions Club that is also a member of the American Legion for Tracy, let's donate let's have our tickets go towards that organization.
Now, have you gone to like the veterans at University of Pacific and
Absolutely.
at Delta College.
Delta College and UOP are both participating.
I know our Women's Auxiliary,
Right.
they support the veterans there.
Yeah, I've actually been there
UOP.
at Delta. And Delta also, I went to their
Delta, right.
graduation. Well, one thing that you touched upon, and I guess I should jump on it now, is we also had those 15 tables. So I sent an
Right.
email out to close to 100 different groups, and within the first week, they were all gone. We had 15 tables, they were free, and there was a table, and they also had a thing in the back that they could hang a banner on. And so at these tables, we have the Legion, we have VFW, we have the Marine Corps League, we have Blue Star Moms, we have a bunch of other groups, and we even have a waiting list in case people can't make it because other people want to do it. So we have these 15
They can't go to
tables.
more tables?
I asked. No, there's like some sort of rule about it because it's in the walkway
Right,
and,
right.
fire this
Oh, I
and all
know
that kind of
how
stuff.
that is, yes.
So, but we have the 15 tables, and what's cool about it is that the organizations will be able to recruit. They'll be able to even ask for donations if they want. They'll be able to sell, gear or whatever they want to generate funding. But it's mostly to get the word out, to tell people what this organization's about. And they're actually going to be one of the rules that we put together. They have to be there an hour and a half before the game starts. They have to have somebody there during the whole game because
People who have the table set up.
Yeah, because
Okay.
because what happens is I've been to a lot of these games where the tables are just empty, during the game.
Oh, yes,
And so if I had a
yes.
question, and then they even have to be open 15 minutes after the game. So even people afterwards on the way out can get information or learn more about it. So that's one of the things that we're trying to do, which is going to now segue to your other question. So one of the things that we're going to be doing during the game is, there's 3 periods. So it's not like quarters. We have 2 breaks basically between the first and the second and third. And our plan is to do something that's veteran related. I love jumping dogs through hoops and
Right.
juggling clowns and all that stuff, but that's not something on a military appreciation game. So what we're doing is we're going to get various like ROTC. I was actually trying to get like a drill team, things like that that's more oriented. And on top of that, the Heat went out and spent a lot of money and purchased a huge flag. And the plan is at the beginning of the game is to actually have veterans holding the flag over the ice at the beginning of the game. We're going to have singers to sing the national anthem. We're going to have actually God Bless
Good for
America.
you.
God Bless America is going to be sung at the end of the game. So again, it's all veterans all the time. Red, white, and blue. We hope everybody wears red, white, and blue. And it's just an exciting way for the community to honor veterans and also a way for the community to help generate funding. Because remember, the Stockton Heat's the one that's giving all this money away. $6 of every ticket that they could have kept for themselves, they're going to give to a local veterans group. And I think that's really big of the Stockton Heat. So that's why Vince and I wanted to get involved and without pay, because we know this is a way for them to give back to the community.
Well, while you're talking, my head is going round and round, and I can think of quite a few other groups of people in our communities that would probably like to get on board. And one, I'll give a nice big shout out to Cherokee Memorial Park. They have the most wonderful memorial.
I was there this year.
Were you there
Yes,
too?
I was.
I go every year. Every year I go. And Danny, who I believe his name is Danny, he's the manager there. And they do such a wonderful, wonderful program.
Yeah, they do it early in the morning, and which is great. And then later on, I go to the American
right,
Legion.
me too.
So so Memorial Days are pretty busy for me because
Oh,
I go to all these different
definitely,
events in the morning and in the
definitely.
afternoon, etc. But I don't want to be political here, but I get frustrated when somebody on Memorial Day goes to the beach and goes to the barbecue and they forget what Memorial's all about. I mean,
Exactly.
I can respect that you have a barbecue in the afternoon, but that morning, go someplace, go to a cemetery, go somewhere, go to a military statue and salute it. We got a Vietnam veteran memorial downtown Stockton.
Right,
Just
right.
go down there, think a few minutes, honor those that died for you. I used to have a bumper sticker in my old car, and I haven't found it, but it said, if you can read English, thank a teacher. If you can speak English, thank a veteran. And so to me, America would not be where it is today. We would not only be the #1 economy and the #1 country in the world if it wasn't for veterans. We'd be speaking Japanese or Russian or German or something like that. We would not be America for Americans. And
Exactly.
so, again, that's a little thing, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July. Have fun, but remember that holiday is to honor our military and our veterans.
Now, I wanted to find out, is there do you have your flyer, is it electronic, that you could send it to me
Yes,
electronically?
yeah, absolutely. We send it to you electronically, and that's actually what we do is that once the organization, let's say the VFW and Tracy, they want to get on board. They haven't so far, but if they want to get on board, we would add them to the website, but then I would, again, modify the flyer so it has please donate to this group, and then I would send it to them digitally. This way they can put it on their Facebook, they can put it on their blog, they can put it on they can print it out, give it out to their people, or just post it. So this way, modern technology is amazing. I mean, you guys are on Twitter and all this stuff out there in Twitter
live
world.
streaming
Yes,
on
live streaming. This
YouTube
is
right
kind of
now.
cool.
Hi, all of you
My
out
first
there.
time I've ever done this, so I think it's pretty cool. But like I said, we're trying to get into the digital age. That's why, like we mentioned earlier, the tickets are not for sale. Where we will bring you the ticket. You buy
Right.
them online.
Right.
This way, money doesn't have to worry. The credit card gets taken care of. You don't have to collect cash. You don't have to worry about getting it. It's just very clean, very simple, and it's very easy. One other thing too, because you talked about different groups, one of the things that we're also trying to do is that all these organizations, after this military appreciation game is over with, they know that if they want to, say, contact the Heat and have a game specifically for them, let's say that the Lions,
Right.
they could actually contact the Heat, talk to Mark, talk to Alec, and say, hey, we would like to set up a game in which we would sell the tickets for the Lions, and then the profit would go towards our organization. So this is, in my point, just a stepping stone to not only for next year, because we're going to do this every single year, but it's also a way for all these organizations, if they want to do it just for them, they have a relationship with the Heat, and they can get it on
Exactly.
another game. Now, don't steal our military appreciation game.
No,
but you can have
no.
you can have the rest.
Well, I know that I think we've had sometimes with the Port of Stockton, we've had something similar like that. With
Well,
the ports.
on September 1st, shout out to Stockton Ports. September 1st, which is this Saturday, is their military appreciation game. I'll be there with my family. I bought tickets, so I'll be there. So they'll have
That's September 1st?
this Saturday,
Okay.
September 1st. The game starts at 7, and there's fireworks afterwards too.
Oh, yes.
So if you want, they're going to have a lot of military stuff over there too. I know Mike over there, Mike Lee. He's an awesome guy. He's given us tickets in the past, and I'll be there with a lot of other veterans. Again, another great organization that wants to support veterans. It's not going to be to the level that the Heat is doing it, but who knows? Maybe next year they'll do it. They can ask Vince and me. Maybe we can
Well,
help them.
I know that the Ports does a lot for organizations in the community. I know with the hockey games, we have the teddy bear throw
Yeah, that's
every
nice.
year. I know the Lions have participated in that a lot, and so there's when you have our organizations like we do have, and we have a baseball team, we have a hockey team, we need to bring everybody together, and we have our military organizations. And last year when we had the patriotic ball, that was absolutely great. Everybody came together with the different military groups came together for that, and I was really happy to see that. And with this, I think this is absolutely fantastic. And if you can send me the flyer
Will do.
electronically, I can electronically get it out to all my Lions clubs.
Great.
That'd be great. You can
Yes.
maybe put it on your Facebook page.
Oh, definitely. That's where it would first go. It'd be on the Facebook page and on many of my other Lion Club members' Facebook page too.
And like I said, it's really simple. I mean, just go online, choose this area you want to do it in. It's a great way to support veterans. It's a nice gift. And I tell you, the prices are very reasonable.
Oh, they are.
And I take my family and my grandkids, and they absolutely love it. It's a great way, good family fun. It's wholesome. There might be a fight or two, but, that's hockey. But it's still a great time. They've
Do
actually
you know
got,
that they learn how to fight?
probably from school.
You don't know. They have practicing. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, the video games?
No. I was there a year or so ago with, I went as a volunteer lion with a few organizations for the developmentally disabled and other disabled groups. And the kids just loved to go there, and they were having a party, and then they had dancing going on, but they were there while the team was practicing. And they actually had a segment of practicing to fight.
You're talking about the Heat players?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
the hockey players.
I thought you meant the kids were learning how to fight.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, no.
Okay.
I bet. Yeah, that's kind
That
of.
was really interesting. I said, oh my gosh, look at that.
Well, if you're going to do it, you do it. May as well do it right. you know?
Well, yeah, they were learning how to do it kind of legally, I think. Well, I am so happy that you came on board here with me today.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Thank you.
I am very much belonging to the American Legion, and you both belonging to American Legion.
Yeah, he belongs
Carl
to
Ross.
ours. Yeah, he belongs
Yes.
to Carl Ross too.
Yes. In fact, the new commander,
Jay.
Jay, his father belongs to the Stockton Host Lions. Gort Loftus, a Norwegian. I'm Norwegian.
All right.
Kept trying to get my
Skål.
father to come to the meetings. I said, Dad, you got to come and meet this Norwegian. He eats lefse. That's a Norwegian bread.
Oh.
But
I thought it was that
can't get out.
rotten fish thing. There's a
No, that's lutefisk.
yeah.
Ugh,
I've
yes.
been to Norway, so
I don't
know.
like lutefisk either. My folks always had it at
smell.
Easter. Yeah. It's a boiled butterfish. You boil it in water and
it's
butter
like
and
I had
stuff.
haggis in Scotland. It's an acquired taste for a lot of stuff.
I think so. I think so. Well, I want to thank you very much. I will be seeing you at the Legion meetings, I'm quite sure.
Great.
But I like I was telling Mike and Mark and Alex, I was telling them I'd like to have you guys come back again.
Sure.
Because we want to keep this in the
Keep it going.
yes, keep it going and let people know and see how it's progressing and so forth. And you send this to me electronically to my email address today, and I will make sure that it gets where it's supposed to go. I can send it out to all my clubs,
Cool.
to all the Lions, and all of you out there, any of you Lions clubs out there or people that are interested, go to my Facebook page in about a day. It'll take me about a day to get this all up and running. And you'll get all the information right there on Facebook. You can see my Facebook page. It's running along the bottom of the screen. And I want to say thank you. Thank you,
Oh, thank
Commander.
you.
I'm so proud
Thanks.
of you. And thank you for your service. And thank you, Sergeant, for your service.
Thank you.
And I'll be seeing you at meetings. And I want to thank all of you for being with us today, and I hope to see you next Monday at 2 o'clock right here at KXVS at the Lions We Serve live show. So goodbye for now.
Semper Fi.